Good morning, everybody. Amanda with Sugar Bees Gifts Decor More. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a quick one, and you're going to love it because I love it. So my signature business cup is a tie-dyed cup. I had just done one for myself, but I had a customer request one the other day. Now, this customer in particular brought me her own cup. We are repurposing cups. So this one, I do believe, was a stainless. It was just a plain stainless steel. So we just scuffed it up and took the shine off of it. Took it down to bare metal. So I was doing some cleaning over the weekend, a couple weekends ago, and forgot that I had these. These are liquitex professional paint markers. I got them at Hobby Lobby on clearance. I'm pretty sure they're still available, but unfortunately, I don't think they're on clearance anymore. I lucked up on these. Hobby Lobby used to have wonderful clearance. I don't know what happened. Now everything's damaged, and they should just toss it and write it off. But these were originally 60 bucks. I paid $7.55 for them. They're chisel tip markers, and they're filled with acrylic paint. You get, these are all fluorescent colors, but I honestly don't know if you can get them in primary colors, but I'm drawn to anything fluorescent, so that was another reason I bought these. As y'all know, acrylic paints are water-based paints, so a really easy cleanup if you make a boo-boo. What else do you need to know about these? Keep them stored like so. Keep them sitting up like this, because you don't want too much flowing down to this tip, because when you go to put it on your cup or whatever you're putting it on, that's a hard surface that's not porous for it to absorb the paint, it's going to run. And since this was my first time using these, I had to prime the tip. When you get your markers, you're going to need to prime the tip, which is just basically pushing it down on a piece of paper. I used a piece of cardstock so it wouldn't go everywhere. But once you get them primed and you're not using them, you need to keep them upright, because you want to keep all the paint down here at the bottom, not saturating your tip to where you're going to have a lot of runoff when you go to apply it. But super simple, easy way to get this cup, and I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to touch this cup because I'm about to put a coat of epoxy on it, but you just start in the center, just making marks like this. I know a lot of people, they'll take one color and then do the entire cup, or do that entire ring, I should say. I do that, and then I don't do that. Basically what I do is just start making my circle. Then I come in and I do the next. I'm building my way out, color by color, rather than going in, I'm going to do my whole swirl of orange, or I'm going to do my whole swirl of yellow. That's not the way I do it, but you do it however. But basically, I just spread out and push it out all over the cup. And you're going to have a meat right here in the middle when you get done. And then you can see how I've done the bottom. But I just did, that's all I did. I went all the way around with these markers. Now once that was dry, let me put my marker back in here, make sure you stand them up. Once I did that, I cleared them with Rust-Oleum's clear gloss. Don't ask me what, you could use a matte. It doesn't matter. You just want to seal those acrylic paints in. I have not had good results going in on top of acrylic paints with no barrier between them with epoxy. So it needs to go acrylics, some type of sealer. Like I said, I used the Rust-Oleum clear gloss, and then I let that dry and then come in with my epoxy. Now this just has a thin coat of epoxy on it because we did the glitter on it. I use my glitter mix on here, and I can tell you exactly what's in it. Let me grab it. The three colors that I use to achieve my opal look, and the reason I do opal is because opal is an iridescent. The white opal is the iridescent. But see, it's gonna pick up every color that it touches. So where you would think I put a green glitter on there, no, it's just clear. It's white opal, or a diamond, I think. But I'll show you the three colors I use to achieve said color. Hobby Lobby's diamond, and this is not the ultra fine, this is medium. This is in between fine and chunky. The next one I used is Jumbo Diamond, also from Hobby Lobby. And then lastly, I used Recollections Glitz, and this is a fine iridescent. So, of course, more on the heavy side of the Jumbo. But this is what your product should look like when you get done. That's what it should look like. So, you want to go in, of course, with your thin epoxy coat. I think this was like maybe 5 mils of epoxy. Lightly dab it on there. You don't want a thick coat with this. You want to take off any excess epoxy and then put a very light dusting. When I'm pouring this glitter on here, I'm like way up here dusting it, because you don't want to cake it on so much that you lose the effect of the tie-dye. You don't want to lose that definition. So it's just a light dusting. And with those iridescents, it really doesn't matter if you miss a spot, because I don't know, it's just, it fills in all those little gaps for you. And plus you're using this fine, and it's going to fill in all those little spots. But just don't cake it on, because you're going to lose your effect. But like I said, I used, this is a repurposed 20-ounce Ozark Mountain. We sanded it down, got all the, it took it down to the bare metal. Then we came in with our liquitex paint markers, acrylic paint markers. These came from Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure you can still get them, but probably not at such a heck of a deal. You could probably find another brand, or maybe this brand, on Amazon if you want. And then we used these 3 glitters. Like I said, heavier on the Jumbo. So we used Jumbo Diamond from Hobby Lobby, Diamond from Hobby Lobby, and Glitz from Recollections from Michaels. Put your thin coat of epoxy on, very thin, wipe off any excess, and then a light dusting at a high hand. And then afterwards, I would normally put another coat of clear gloss over the top of this. Say if I was doing an ombre and I didn't want that glitter to bleed up to areas where I don't want glitter. But we're not going to worry about that with this one, because we've covered the entire cup with the same glitter. So we're not worried about it getting in areas that we don't want it to be. So the next step is we're going to put epoxy on this. I'm not going to show you that part, but hopefully in the next video I can come back and show you the finished effect. But I just wanted to show you that you can get such a gorgeous cup instead of having to use... I'll tell you why I like these more. Main reason. Not only are they contained in this nice little tube to where I'm not having to clean out paint pods, but if you've ever used the fluorescent paints in the craft paints, then you know they're not this opaque in the fluorescents. You have to layer and layer and layer. Now, I did go over this a couple of times, but just a couple, and I still got a very opaque neon or fluorescent look, whatever you prefer to use. But I still got a very great effect without having to pile and pile and pile those fluorescent acrylic paints on, because they're not as opaque as they need to be. But that's the main reasoning for that. So, like I said, hopefully in my next video, I'll show you the finished look. If you have any questions about where I got any of these products or any technique that I used on this cup, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will be sure to answer you back. If this is your first time on my page, I hope you like what you found, and that you may consider possibly subscribing. And also be sure, if you do that, to hit the notification bell, because I post very randomly. I didn't even think I was going to do 2 videos today, but here we are. Look at us overachievers today. So, but I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Like I said, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and I will answer you back as soon as possible. Until then, toodles.